Yo, what up, hey, how you doing, guys? My name is Sangiev. Today we're back with another video. As you can see from the title, it's just going to be a bunch of DIY projects or DIY little customs that I've done. I think they're kind of weather appropriate, so I chucked in the term spring, summer, especially for them clicks though. So I'm going to start off with the shirts. One of them I actually already showed you guys in my previous video on how to style short sleeve shirts. Look number 2 from that video had one of the shirts that I made myself. And so, quick little backstory, I did a how to do your own sort of DIY needles shirts using flannels. I love the idea, and obviously that is very much not replicating the look, but you are taking the idea and executing it yourself using the sort of same material that they use. I love the notion of bringing that idea to different materials. Now, one of my favorite materials to wear during the summer, especially when it comes to shirting, is this sort of silky, viscosy, super flowy type of stuff. And so I made some shirts using those material. It's the same process. You just buy a bunch of vintage shirts, take them apart and reattach them. And I'm kind of going to be showing them to you guys. And also, last time I ended up selling 2 of the pieces. A lot of you guys messaged me saying, yo, can you please do more? Can we get some more? And so there is 4 today. 3 are going to be up for sale. They're going to be on my Snupps, on my for sale shelf, before going anywhere else. So it's first come, first served. Let's start off with this guy right here, because I've already shown it to you. It is the short sleeve number. It is the only one that is short sleeve out of the bunch. As I said, I've taken apart 5 different shirts, combined them all together. Now, because of the silkiness of the material, I had to make sure to really stitch them next to each other. So with the flannels, sometimes took one of the material and kind of made it sit on top of the other, stitched on top, and that kind of has that nice frayed detailing. With these sort of shirts, the frayed detailing doesn't quite work. Short sleeve shirt, cropped in the body, very similar to how I like my short sleeve shirts to fit. This is definitely more of a size like medium to large. I feel like most of them are a good balance between medium to large. So unfortunately, if you're a size small or XL, these most likely won't fit you. Small, you can still wear it oversized, but ideally, if you're a size medium to large, then you're good to go. I've showed you guys how to style it. I'm most likely going to be showing you guys how it looks on body. You've got 5 panels of different shirts. I've also added this extra gold one from just a piece of material, just because I think it brings out the colors beautifully and it's so shiny and just shimmery. Now, the reason why I love to work with vintage garments is because obviously these clothes have gone through a lot. They've got their own story, they've got their own marks. I kind of made sure to leave those marks as they are. So if there's like a tiny little hole or whatever in the fabric, then I've left it as it is, because I think it tells the story better with these clothing. Now, the other 3 shirts that I made are long sleeve. This happens to be one of my personal favorites because of the middle part. Like, I love this middle shirt that I've used as the base. So what I normally tend to do is use a shirt as the base and then cut away the sleeves, cut away some panels, cut away the pockets and reattach them on top. And this is what this, and this is the final product that we get. It's the same 5 shirts on all of those shirts, so obviously they're going to look very similar. I should have added some sort of branding, but I thought, nah, leave it as it is. I just love the way that the colors sit on this one. It's definitely the more lightest in terms of the color palette with how they all sit next to each other. But yeah, this is shirt numero 2. Shirt number 3, we've got this banger right here. Once again, very lightweight. Do you know what, like, because the patterns, now that I'm seeing it on screen, because the patterns are very similar to each other, it kind of flows really nicely without it being too jarring on the eye and too crazy. Like, the colors kind of work with each other. Even if you take a look at this sleeve right here, which is quite easily the lightest part of this shirt, it still works and it ties, because you've got this element here, you also have it here and in one of the pockets. This is a shirt with a double pocket thing. A lot of you guys loved it in the last one, and so I made sure to include 1 shirt, or maybe 2 actually. Wait, hold on, is it 1 shirt or 2 shirt? It's just 1 shirt with a double pocket, and obviously all the seams on the inside are all overlocked. I made sure to go to the tailor to make sure to get that shit done so it looks clean. It doesn't have any pieces just floating about. The bottoms, I left them sort of different lengths. You guys can play around with however you wish to style it, whether you want to make it all in one length or whether you like those sort of different lengths. That is entirely up to you. And I think I kind of like that when designers give you the opportunity to do your own thing with regards to how you want a certain garment to fit. Obviously, they will give you a proposition, and then whether you decide to take that on or not is entirely up to you. So this is shirt number 3. Love this guy as well, man. This was originally a Club Domingo Country Club shirt, so you know that shit's good, I think. And the last shirt, and this one is definitely the more design centric, you could say. It's got a beautiful revere collar, Many people will love that. On a long sleeve, which again, Reveal collars are normally associated with short sleeves, so I made sure to kind of have that in a long sleeve format. The main shirt in this guy is extremely silky, and once again, you've got all the colors of the shirt that work really nicely and cohesively. Now, what I mean by this is the most design centric is the fact that we have two plackets with buttons. You've got the first one, the main one that you use, and then I've also included one of the plackets from another shirt on the side. I just think it's really subtle, but it looks really cool, and it's just like an extra detail that if you pay attention to it, it's really nice. I love this piece, man. I mean, I love each and every single one of them. So if you wish to cop them and support me, then it is very much appreciated. Like the first time I did it and people actually bought it, it was, I don't know, it was kind of crazy. Like obviously you guys support me tremendously by just watching these videos and just following the journey, but making these purchases of something that I made is still like crazy to me, and obviously that is the game, that is the aim of the game for the future. But thank you ever so much to anybody that wishes to support them. Now, another DIY that you may be able to do are sweatshirts and hoodies. Now, I understand that the weather doesn't really allow for sweatshirt hoodies, but I still think we're in that transitional phase where it does get quite chilly at night. I carry my backpack 95% of the time. I'll always have a sweatshirt or hoodie in there just in case I need to bust it when it gets cold. So let's start off with the sweatshirts first. Now, before even showing you guys what I have done with it, I'm gonna have an overlaying clip right now of what it used to look like. It was just your standard Russell Athletic sweatshirts. This was a size large. I love the way that it fits, man. To be honest, even if you didn't want to DIY it, this is a great item just as it is. I think Russell Athletic makes some great blanks, and it obviously says Knowles on the front. I don't know what it stands for. I don't know if it's a university in the US or whatever it may be. I love the colors, red, yellow, very collegiate look, looks awesome. One of the biggest DIY requests that I've got from you guys is the Undercover sweatshirt, cropped in the body, elongated sleeve. Now, unfortunately for this piece, because the sleeves weren't long in the first place, I wouldn't have been able to have done an elongated sleeve look. However, I did crop it in the body, and this is what it looks like right now. Still got the same knolls, cropped in the body. The sleeves are longer, obviously, because now it's cropped, but it's still not elongated, and I left the cuff on it. Initially, I was gonna take the cuff off, and then to kind of just have it like an normal finish, basically a bit of a wider finish, but because I've kept the waistband on the body, it just didn't make sense to get rid of the cuff. Like design wise, it just didn't make that much sense. So now you've got a cropped sweatshirt. Now I know to some this might be like a big no-no. You don't like the idea of having a cropped sweatshirt, and that's absolutely fine. I think it's so sick, especially when worn with some high-waisted trousers, high-waisted jeans. It just looks awesome. It kind of plays with the silhouette. Being a shorter guy at 5'8", for any short people, if you're able to play around with the silhouette and make yourself look tall, then that is a then that is great. And so cropped sweatshirts will do that, especially with an elongated high-waisted trousers with some nice boots, nice trainers, whatever it may be. So that is item number one, and that is something that anybody can do. You literally just cut it up. You can leave it raw at the bottom, or you can reattach the waistband that you've initially taken off. Second item, we're going to move to hoodie. This guy right here actually looked amazing off the rail. I love the fit of it, but I bought it to DIY it, and I think this could look awesome. Now, as you can see, it's just a standard black hoodie. I think it's a size large champion, so it does fit kind of on the smaller side. Very sort of compact, do you know what I mean? That's the sort of vibe that I got from this. It fits beautiful, but I wanted to take it apart, and what I initially did was it's got this sort of overlapping hoodie closure, right? So the hood kind of, I don't know, you might be able to see it on the on body, but it overlaps. I undone those stitches and then I cut it down the middle, so you kind of have this sort of very simple, raw looking, just a cut up hoodie basically. But then I thought, you know what, as awesome as this looks, let's take it up a notch and let's just cut straight down the middle, bro. And this is what I did. I remember doing these back in like when we were young kids, just cutting hoodies. I personally prefer zip up hoodies as opposed to pullover hoodies, like just over the head hoodies. That's just a personal preference of mine. I thought, why not just leave it without a zip? So I unpicked the hoodie. Whoa, okay, there you go. It doesn't sit really nicely on hangers at the moment. Unpicked the hoodie. I didn't like overlock anything in the middle. I just kind of left it raw. Now, because this had a kangaroo pocket, I made sure to stitch the pocket so you can actually put your arm or your hand in there without your hand coming through the hole, both on the same side. So they've got working pockets. I love this sort of I love this sort of raw finish. If I was to overlock it, I think it would look cool as well, but I like it raw. I was thinking of using something along the lines of like a safety pin in the middle to kind of just keep it closed if I wanted to, and either like a safety pin or a kilt pin. Now, I can't take the credit for this idea because I'm fairly confident anyway Raf did something very similar to this many moons ago. So yeah man, I think it's awesome, and I love the idea actually that it's got a design on the front like embroidered or patched, and you're still able to cut through it because it just makes it cooler, in my opinion. So yeah, that's something that you could do if you wanted to. Very basic sort of DIY. This is very basic. Sorry, I'm just reaching for the final item. Sweatshirt, crop it, hoodie, cut it down the middle if you don't want it mate. Or you can also crop it as well, so that's something you can do. Now last but certainly not the least, and this is not necessarily a DIY that you might be able to do, but you can definitely go to like an optician or go to someone to do this, and it revamps your wardrobe without having to splashing out on a lot of money, and that is changing the lens of glasses, sunglasses in particular. Obviously, if you've got your favorite pair of sunglasses and you love the way that everything looks about them, then great, don't change a thing. However, if you're buying something with like a colored lens, for example, and you're thinking to yourself, this is great, I've got another similar one, because sunglasses are one of the things that you just kind of buy. Everyone seems to buy a new pair every summer. Although they will still have their old one, they will still go ahead and buy a new one. So I got this pair of Gucci sunglasses. They came with the sort of dark grey to dark navy lens. It just looked douchey with the shape of these glasses. Let me throw them on. You'll see them on the I don't like to do on bodies that are so close to my face, but you'll see them on. I didn't film the initial ones or how they looked before, but basically just imagine this shape but with a sort of dark-ish lens, like dark navy to a dark grey. It just makes it look super douchey. It didn't fit the lens, at least in my opinion, and I've added some yellow lenses. Now, because I wear glasses due to my poor eyesight, I did include a prescription, so it was like a prescribed sunglass lens. I opted for a yellow colour because I think it suits the frame a lot better. You've got some gold detailing, you've got this sort of wooden like brown finishes. It just made sense to have this yellow lens, and now you have this extremely cool and hip 70s vibe to these sunglasses, which I absolutely love and is very current at the moment. So if you wish to spice up your wardrobe or spice up your sunglasses, to be precise, all it takes is literally going to an optician and be like, hey, can you change the lens to a different color? Be it green, be it blue, be it a mirror reflective, whatever it may be. That's just a DIY that you can do. But yeah man, that is that for my DIY. You've got the shirts, you've got the sweatshirts, and then you've got these glasses. If you wish to follow me on my social media, it's all right here, Sangiev. That is my Snupps, my Twitter, and my Instagram. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up because it helps me out tremendously. Once again, thank you ever so much for the support on the BDYs, on just everything, man. Like, you lot kill it. I love you lot. Have a beautiful day. Take care. Peace.